Hello, this is Tammy G. We are going to do excuse me one moment, a nice, easy balance and flow exercise class today. We are going to, at the end, add some core work that is specifically onto the floor, a little bit of mobility exercises and so forth from there. You don't really need any equipment at all. Just your mat is good and your body. So we're going to get started. We're just going to bring the hands into prayer. We are going to take the feet, we're going to lift those toes up and then just very lightly just cup the floor, raising up the arches of the foot. Lift those kneecaps up and stand up just as tall as we can. Bring the shoulders back to center. Some nice big breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. From here, we're just going to do a gentle, easy check-in, just noticing any tight spots in the body. Trying to make the breath even, 4 counts in, 4 counts out, or longer if you can. Again, raising up through the spine, lifting through the top of the head, making ourselves just as tall as we can get. Draw that belly in just a little bit. And then we're going to begin to move. So we're going to bring the arms all the way back up overhead, reaching for the sky. And as we exhale down, we're just going to let those arms float. Nice gentle breath from here. Take your time. Move this at your own pace. We're going to do 2 more of these. Just a nice breath in. Exhale, coming back and down. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Taking those hands back up one more time from here. And letting that come down nice and easy. Now from here, we're going to start with the shoulders. We're just going to roll those shoulders back. Big, big rolls. Squeeze those shoulders together. Make sure that the exercise is actually moving through the shoulders and not just waving the arms around. We want this work specifically in the shoulders. We're going to come forward from here, really round out and creating space between the shoulder blades. We'll find that useful later on. And coming forward from here. Now we're going to take 1 forward and 1 back. Nice and easy from here. And then let's reverse that, come the other direction. Let the other shoulder come forward first. Good. And then we're going to bring this back. Let's take these arms all the way back up again. And as we exhale down this time, bring those to the shoulders. So just let those fingers sit down on top of the shoulder blades. We're going to bring these in, touching the elbows, squeezing that back, pulling that back as far as we can and squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're going to bring that forward again. Coming back from here. And one last time like that. Now from here, let's just make big circles with those elbows all the way through. Starting from the front, circling back and through. Let's do just one more time here. And then we're just going to reverse the direction here, right? Opening up those shoulders, opening up the chest. And just beginning to kind of relax through there just a little. Or a lot. If you're super tight, that a lot feels pretty good. And then we're going to let this down, bring these hands back and down. From here, we're going to tilt the chin towards the chest. Then we're going to lift that back up and we're going to lead to the ceiling with the chest, or not the chest, the chin. Exhaling back and down again. Just tucking that chin down towards the chest and lifting back up from here. Then we're going to come into the center and we're going to turn to the right or the left, whichever side you want to do here. We're going to come back to the other side, looking back over that shoulder, just checking, like you're checking your rearview mirror. Not your rearview, checking your rear, right, on your car. Coming back behind you here. If you're going to change lanes, one more time over here. And then we're going to come into the center and we're just going to tilt the head off to the side. And if you wish, you can take your hand and just very lightly apply just a little bit of pressure. Drop the shoulder down so we really feel that length through the neck. And you can tilt that chin down. Bring that toward the ceiling. You'll find, you might find a tight spot. If you do find an area that feels unusually tight, just go ahead and hold that for a second. We're going to come to the other side again. Same thing from here. Lengthen it out. Drop that shoulder down. Let's relax. Let's tilt that chin down. We can come back up. And then we're going to come into the center. Now from here, relaxing those shoulders, so just kind of shake that out just a little bit, roll those shoulders back and down. We're gonna start in the center and we're just gonna roll shoulder to shoulder. And then let's take that full circle all the way around. Nice and easy from here. And let's go one more time, reversing the direction here. Let's go 3 this way. Continuing, of course, to breathe, right? And letting that go from there. And then coming back to neutral here. We're just gonna swing the arms side to side. Again, just let our arms go where they may. Doesn't really matter at all. We're just getting a gentle rotation, kind of working through those ankles. Again, through the waist, the shoulders. Let's go one more time from here. And then we're gonna come into the center. And from here, we're just gonna shift those hips around in a circle. So as I'm coming from here, I am actually just kind of pulling through, coming into play from there, squeezing under, and coming back into the middle. Then we're gonna reverse and come back the other way. So it's not a huge movement, right? Actually initiate that from the center, pulling that belly button in and around, and then we're gonna relax that out. So from here, we're gonna take the feet, we're gonna roll the feet out to the side. Coming on to kind of the pinky toes from here. Then we're gonna bring that back in and we're gonna roll back onto the inside, kind of knock me, putting that big toe onto the floor. Let's roll that back out to the side again. Coming back into center from here, rolling onto the inside, letting those toes. Then from here, let's just bounce those toes for just a minute. Same thing from here, just kind of bouncing the fingertips right along with it. Spread those fingers out, spread those toes out, and then relax. Let's just very lightly cup the floor. Then again, we're gonna lift those back up. And this time, let's scrunch them in. So just like we're picking up a towel, and we're gonna lift those up, and we're gonna toss it away. We're gonna bring this back. We're gonna scrunch that back in toward us, and then we'll lift it up. Let's go one more time, scrunching in. Bring those toes back up, spread them out wide again. And then again, let's just very lightly cup the floor. From here, let's start with the hands back up. We're gonna exhale as we dive forward from here. Coming back and down, you can come all the way down to the floor if you choose. Trying to keep the legs soft rather than locking out the knees, but just relax down over it and let gravity do the work here. We're gonna flatten out the back, so flatten through the back, pull with the back of the legs and the glutes and bring ourselves back up to the center. I'm gonna show you from the side, same thing from here. We're gonna exhale, bringing this forward. As we get down to the bottom, then we can begin to round out and just soften and hang, right? Relax the neck and the shoulders. Then from here, we're gonna take that breath, flattening out that back, lifting up, driving ourselves back up. This time, let's squeeze the glutes and take just a very gentle back bend. We're gonna exhale this forward one more time. And this time, as we come into play from here, we're just gonna go ahead and let the body hang, and we're just gonna kind of rotate side to side. So you can sweep the arms, relax the neck and the shoulders as we come into here. And then we're gonna see if we can reach to one side. So we're just gonna come off to one side, see if we can reach down toward the floor. We're gonna come back around the other side, see if we can reach down toward the floor. Now, if you don't go all the way to the floor, coming around to one hip or to the knee is fine too. Just kind of shifting side to side, getting through into those hips, the low back from here. Now here we're gonna take this breath up and we're gonna come off to the side. So we're gonna bring this down and we're gonna rainbow across the top, coming up and over here. And bringing this back to center. We'll do just a few like this. And again, taking that within your range of motion. This is something that should feel really, really good. It shouldn't be painful. And let's go one more time here. And then bringing this back into center from here. Let those arms come back down nice and easy from here. And relax. Now from here, we are going to take a step to the side. So we're going to step off to the side. We're going to bring the hands into play here. And we're going to step back across. So again, just enough, right? We're keeping our balance very nice. We're letting the arms just kind of relax as we step back through here. We're going to go one more time to the side. Going over from here. Okay, now from here, I'm up on my toe on this leg. So I'm going to bring the other arm out to the side and I'm going to lift that knee up. Now you don't necessarily have to leave the knee up. You can stay with just the heel off the floor, and if that challenges your balance enough, you can stay there. Wherever we bring this knee, we want to try to keep it in place. So here I'm going to keep it about this height and I'm going to let the arms come down. I'm going to inhale, bring them halfway up, let them come back down again, and this time I'm going to take the arms all the way up, reaching as tall as I can, and exhale, coming down. We're going to do 3 more sets of this. This time again, just coming halfway. So what I'm really focusing on is squeezing that glute on the standing leg, kind of shifting back just a little bit so I can counterbalance that knee, and of course hanging on with the belly, right? So I'm trying to stay very strongly centered and nice big even breaths. So I'm actually moving right along with my breath, letting the arms come back up on the inhale and floating back down on the exhale. I'm going to go one more time from here. All the way back up. And then let's exhale and let that come down. And now I'm going to step to the other side. So I'm going to shift my weight off to the side as I come down, coming from here. Let's just take a few to kind of relax, right? Just shifting side to side. Let's go a couple more. Okay, our last step, we're going to come to the other side from here. And again, I'm going to come up onto that toe from here, and I'm going to bring that other hand out to the side here. So I'll let these hands come back down. I can bring that knee up as I come back up to lift. Exhale, let the arms come back down. Now, if you prefer, you can also let that leg come back up, and you can touch down in between, right? So if you feel like you prefer to move with that, you certainly can. If you're looking more for the contraction, which is what I'm looking for right now through the abs, I'm going to hold in this position while we finish our last 2. So coming again into center. Nice strong tummy. Very, very beautiful posture. And connecting that breath, right? A lot more going on than it really looks like. And then I'm going to step to the side as I let this one come down. And I'm going to sink this out, coming side to side again. Wow, losing my balance, right? My foot's sticky on the floor here. Coming over from here. Now this time I'm going to step back. And as I move forward from here, I'm going to let this leg come back up, and I am going to reach out and I'm going to push. Then I'm going to pull back in a circular fashion from here, bringing that back and down, and I'm going to push this forward. Again, circle back, pulling back down, pushing forward from here. Now you'll notice that I'm not leaning forward and down with this piece. I'm actually just shifting my weight forward and pulling back. But now we're going to make a slight adjustment to this. We're going to take this down. We're going to bring this back up all the way around. Bring those arms out. Shift you back as you look toward the ceiling. Now if that's a bit much for you to look to the ceiling, obviously you can stay looking straight forward. Don't lean quite so far back. So just whatever feels right for you at the moment. We're just pulling this up and through. We're going to do one more time like that. And then as we begin to come up from here, we're going to take this hand and we're going to hold right here. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to lift that leg up and I'm going to pull the arms back. So squeezing those shoulder blades, we lift and we squeeze. We won't do a whole bunch of them. Now again, that can be something where if you're not real comfortable lifting that foot off the floor, you can slide it in and out. Or you can just hold it nice and steady, right? We're going to do one more time from here. And we're going to relax that back. So we're going to shift again, side to side from here. Stepping in. We'll step back to the other side. We'll keep this simple, right? And again, coming through. This time we're keeping the arms just a little bit lower. And from here. Now, as we come back this time, we're going to shift the weight back from here. We're gonna step this foot out and we are going to set the heel down and we're gonna push. And again, we're gonna pull back up nice and easy, and then we're gonna push this forward. Just adjusting the weight. We are again nice and firm through the midsection. So we're drawing that belly in and up, but not so tight that we can't move, right? We want this to be fluid and soft. And let's go one more time just like this. And as we circle back this time, we're gonna go deep, right? So we're gonna push this down. And as we come around, we're gonna shift that weight back. We're gonna open the arms up, circling through, really open the chest, and then we shift forward. Bring those arms up and around. Coming into position from here. We have just 2 more of these. Coming through here. Now this time as we come forward, we're gonna stop halfway. So we're gonna lift this back up so the hands are open from here. We're gonna lift this back leg up, centering our weight over the front leg. And then we're gonna squeeze those shoulder blades back. And we lift. And we squeeze. So when we actually bring that foot down, actually make contact with the floor. Kind of press on the floor just very gently as we squeeze those shoulder blades back. We have just a couple more here. And here's our last one. And then we're just gonna pivot around and we're gonna shift. Side to side again, coming into the middle here. Beautiful. We're gonna go one more time from here. And take it into place now from here. Now, from this position, we're gonna take that foot forward and we're actually gonna press that foot onto the floor. So if you're coming from the side, we are in position from here. We're gonna shift our weight back here as we relax and we're gonna round down over the top of that leg. And then again, we're gonna inhale, and as we come forward, we drive those hips forward into a gentle back bend. So we'll exhale again, rounding down, really pulling in with that spine and rounding through. Let those hands come back down. Big reach comes back up, drive those hips forward. And again, we'll bring this down, hollow out through the middle. Back up to the top. I'm gonna turn back to face you again so we can come into the next piece one last time here. Draw this back down. And then we're gonna come forward, driving those hips up into a gentle position from here. Let's go ahead and bring this leg back in from here. We're gonna take this leg out to the side. So we're gonna start with this. We're just gonna sweep it back to center. We'll sweep this back and to the center. So again, this is just a very nice, small, easy movement. We can again move these arms with us if we choose. Coming around and center. Now, holding from here, we're gonna come across the front. And again, back to the middle. Anything that you wanna do with these arms is just fine. You'll notice that I'm skimming the floor. You can actually keep that toe right on the floor if you choose. We're just very gently balancing on that standing leg, holding in place from here. Now from here, we'll let those arms go back out again. And we're gonna again relax, but we're gonna sink into the standing legs. I'm sorry, I got something in my eye. So we're gonna settle down into this leg from here. We're gonna make this nice and easy. We're gonna roll back and to the front. Rolling it back and to the front. Now you can keep this in contact with the floor all the way through and take this at your own pace. We're gonna do just one more time from here. Bring this back and around, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna hold right here. We're just gonna soften down over the top, relaxing and rounding out again. And once more, as we come back up, we're gonna shift those hips forward, driving by squeezing the glutes. Relaxing as we come back down over this. We're gonna do a couple of those. Backing up. Breathing all the way through this, right? Now this time we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna melt down over the top. Relaxing down into position. From here, you can bring the hands to the floor if you feel like you need a little extra balance, or you can just give your leg a hug and really open up that hip in the back. And then we're just gonna come back up out of that, and we're gonna step that foot back in. Right here. So let's take a breath and come it back forward, something where we don't have to think, right? So let's dive this forward. Take that breath back up, reaching nice and long. Let's do that one more time. And then from here, again, we're gonna take this side to side, right? So let's bring it down to one side, shifting back just a little bit with those hips. Over the top as we come back through again. Now, if you feel like your balance is a little off with that, you can always split the feet a little wider, right? Just give yourself a more solid base. Let's go one more time here. Over the top here. Last piece. And I'm going to come right back into the center, let those arms come back down, and relax from here. So we will start again on this side. We're going to sink down into this. We're going to let this foot come out to the side from here, and we're shifting that weight down into the center from here. So we are very strong and solid and well balanced here. We don't want to have the hips sticking out from there. We want to stay nice and centered, and we're going to bring this foot around behind us, right? So we're going to open back, come into center. Actually out to the side, right? I'm already trying to go to the front. Bringing this back, center around. So again, you can sweep that leg around, or you can touch back and touch center. Now let's take this to the front. We're gonna come across the front, and again, back to center. I'm calling this center on the side, right? Because that's the midpoint between these two. Okay, one more time from here. We're gonna take this back behind. So we're reaching back. Let's come all the way around the front. So again, just nice and simple. Take your time with that. That foot can stay in contact with the floor all the way around. A lot of that depends on kind of what surface you're on, right? We're gonna take our last one here. And then we're gonna bring this back behind us. So from here, let's gently bring this down. And again, let's reach this up, drive those hips forward. Exhaling as we come down here, nice and easy. We have one more to go here, all the way down. And then coming back and up. Drive those hips forward, and then let's just step this back together into the center here. So we're going to relax for just a second. So the first thing we're going to do before we start moving into our triangles is we're just going to work a little bit onto opening up the hip from the inner thigh, right? So again, we can stand on the floor, we can just open up, lift the heel up, turn that knee to the side, and bring it back in. Turning it out to the side, and bring it back in. We're going to take that out one more time. Bring this in if you can. We'll bring that back into our tree pose. Then you can make that high or low. It doesn't matter. A lot of times it just depends on your pants, right? Coming into center from here, we'll bring those hands up, lifting nice and tall and really stretch and reach for the ceiling. We won't be here for very long. Nice, big, even breaths. We just want to make sure that we have that foot anywhere but on a joint. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and gently let this go, but we're going to take the foot off to one side. We're going to lift that up and tap out. So we come across to the side and tap back out. Lift, cross. One more time here, so we don't do a whole bunch. Lift and lower and slide that right back in. Good, good. Let the hands come back and down. And then we're going to take this other foot. We're going to go ahead and start up on the toe on here. We're going to open to the side and bring it back. You probably just noticed I just pushed that hip out, right? Try not to do that. That's my weak side here. I had an injury, and I still compensate with that sometimes. So coming into the middle from here, we're going to bring this leg back up anywhere but on a joint. So it can be down low, can come back up into the center of your thigh, squeezing, it's gonna reach nice and tall from here, pulling it up toward the ceiling, and big deep breaths through here. Good, good. Now we're gonna release that, coming in from center here, we're gonna go ahead and take that down, and we're gonna bring it out to the other side. So lifting that knee up, drop it across, coming back to the center from here, and let's come over here. We're gonna do just 2 more. Reach here. And our last one. And then let's just slide that leg right in. One more time, big breath up from here. And let's exhale, coming forward. And then let's take a gentle breath up, bring that back up, back into center. And if you're not already on your mat, we're gonna step onto it. We're gonna move into just a couple of warriors. So we're gonna move side to side here. As we come into place, let's start off with just a triangle because that's always a nice warm up for that. So as we're in place from here, we have one foot pointed towards the wall. The other foot is just kind of centered with the heel of that foot. So we're gonna bring the arms out. We're gonna drop those shoulders down and relax. We'll pull that shoulder forward as we drive this hip back. So we've got some nice long length. From here, we can actually either just reach for the sky looking up. You can look forward or you can look down, whatever feels best for your neck. Again, if you're feeling pretty good with that, we can go ahead and bring that hand down closer to the floor, stacking those shoulders, but we want to stay long through the spine. So instead of collapsing down on it, we want to stay nice and strong. It's going to give you a good stretch on that hamstring. It's also going to lengthen out nice and long without affecting your breath so much. From here, let's go ahead and bring this back up. Reaching long. And letting this come back down to the side. One more time, big breath here. Drop those shoulders down, shift this over. And again, let's find that position that we want to have for our triangle. Driving this back from here, letting this come back up for that reverse one more time. A little sunshine coming in now. Exhale as we come back from here. We're gonna walk that toe a little bit forward if we can. We're gonna bend here as we come into that warrior 2. Ideally trying to keep the knee over the ankle if we can. Into position from here. And let's go one more time here. Now, as we come into position here, we can relax and draw this over the top. Just letting this hand kind of hang out from here. Or you can let this come loosely from here and reverse back and forth a couple of times. But we're trying to stay low in that leg versus coming up and down each time as we move through this. We have just a couple more. And our last one here. Let these come back out. Let's lift that heel up, press it down. Lift up and down. I'm gonna reach and down, reach and down. We have 4, 3, 2, and our last one. Now we are gonna go ahead and just rotate back around to the side so that we can come into just a warrior position. I'm gonna turn to face you just so that we can see where I'm going with this. So I'm in my nice strong warrior position from here. I'm going to come forward and I'm gonna shift that back hip around so that I'm in more of just a low lunge stance as I come into here. What I'm gonna do from here is bring one hand to the inside. I'm gonna roll out onto the outside part of that foot and just open up this groin area. And I'm gonna turn my shoulder toward the ceiling. Now, if that feels pretty good, we're gonna reach that arm up and back just a little bit. Now that back leg is still pushing towards the back. So we pull that heel back, coming back into the center. Let's go ahead and open this back to the middle. You can bring that arm back down and we can push off the heel, coming into the toe. I'm again gonna show you from the side this time as we, again, continue through here. So you're pushing forward and back and forward and back. Then again, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna roll that leg out to the side and I can stay here and just push out onto that knee just gently, right? Nothing hard. And then we can reach if you choose. Coming toward the ceiling from there. Now this time, let's take the hand onto the outside. You can always keep this knee on the ground if you prefer. I'm going to keep that lifted because that's easier for me. We're going to reach this toward the ceiling. And then I'm going to let that back down. Our last piece here, we're just going to rock this knee back. Trying to keep the upper body, again, the chest towards the thigh, chin towards our knee. Relaxing your neck and shoulders. Then I'm going to bend that knee. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back up. I'm going to straighten that leg back up and turn back into the center. So since I walked myself over, I'm coming back into the middle again, right? Breathing up from here. I'm going to exhale and bring this arm across to that foot. So I'm going to draw back from here. I'm going to reach down. I can relax and look toward the ceiling if I choose. I'm going to come back up into the center. We're going to take this arm to the opposite side. Back into center one more time. Noticing the difference between the right and the left hip. Ideally, you can tell a little difference, right? Coming back to the middle from here, letting that come back and down, nice and easy. Let's turn the feet back out from here. So we're going to let one foot come off to the side from here, pointing towards that wall, while this foot is pointing toward the front, centered with the heel. So again, bring those arms out. Drop that shoulder down nice and easy. Let's pull that shoulder forward as we drive that hip back, and then relax toward the ceiling, lengthening through that spine. When you're ready, let's go ahead and pull this back up. And again, just coming in for a very gentle reverse. Bringing this back and down. Ready to go one more time. Easy breath from here. Drop those shoulders down. Shifting over from here. Letting this come back up. And a big reach back up as we come back down into the reverse. Now again, from here, we're going to lock that foot forward just a little bit, coming into that warrior. We can again add arms with that. Just relaxing in and out of this a few times. Let's go 2 more. One more from here. Now we can go ahead and go to that side angle, relaxing that hand down against that knee if you wish, or you can come into the center here, and we're going to reverse back out of that a few times here. Whichever you choose to do, you can hold, you can also relax down onto that. Just don't drop a whole lot of weight into that knee, or thigh, I should say, right? One more. And then from here, we're going to relax that down. So as we come down from here, we're going to pivot that around again. And we can take the heel back. We're going to push that heel back from here. We're going to take this hand onto the inside. We're going to roll this foot onto the outside. So from here, I am again going to turn, and I'm going to rotate back, pushing out on that knee just a little bit, looking toward the ceiling. Now, if you're more comfortable with it reaching up, you can certainly reach up and back, but drive that other heel towards the back, keeping the length through there so that we can really get that stretch through the inner thigh, or you can bring that leg back down to the knee. Now coming back again from here, let's just come in a few times, pushing back and out. Coming in and out, just driving that heel forward. One more time. Now again, we're going to come from here, and you can always, as I mentioned, drop that leg back down from here, bring this leg to the outside and stay into this position if you feel more stable with that. You can certainly do that, whichever one feels best to you today. We're just trying to open up that hip. And then we're going to bring the hand onto the outside of that foot, and we're going to rock this leg back. Coming into the pyramid pose, again, trying to keep the chest towards the thigh, chin towards our knee. And then from here, we're going to begin our groundwork. So we're going to bend that knee and bring that back and down. We're going to come into the center from here. So the first thing that we'll do here is just squeeze the glutes nice and strong. And we're going to take those hands onto the lower back, we're gonna pull those elbows back. We're gonna squeeze the glutes, looking toward the ceiling, really opening up the chest and those hip flexors. We'll come back into the center. Now again, if you want to stay with just that, with the hands onto the back and bringing those elbows back, and we are actually kind of flapping like a chicken, right, forward and back. Or you can actually bring the feet back, or bring the hands back onto the feet. Thumbs up the outside of the hip, the heel. Driving those hips forward from there, pushing forward a little more of an opening for the front of the body. And then we're going to bring that back and up nice and easy here. We're going to move into a tabletop position. So we will take the hands first, just right underneath the shoulders, and the knees right underneath the hips. I'm going to show a couple of rounds of this, just something nice and simple, and then I'll let you know when we're going to move into plank. So if that's something that you're not comfortable with, it's probably a good point to stop, and then come back and revisit this later. From here, we're going to start off with just the cat and cow. So we're going to draw up through the middle, so drawing that belly button in. Kind of pushing that floor away just a little bit. We're going to come up in between the shoulder blades, really round out. Blow all the air out, and then we're going to inhale. Going to come back up, lifting the tailbone and the heart. And let's just roll through there. A couple of breaths here. And let's go one more time. And then from there, we're going to take one hand and we're going to thread it, palm up. We're going to reach through and we're just going to bring that shoulder to the floor. You can relax that top arm down the floor, or you can stretch and reach out with that as well. Just relax and breathe. We'll come back into center here and repositioning, bringing the hands back underneath. We're going to take the other hand through, thread that through. And we can take that top arm and we can either reach that long or we can keep that down beside us. A lot of that's going to depend on your flexibility through that shoulder, through the hips. And then we're going to come back into the center. So the next part that we will do on this is we are just going to do a lift. So we're going to start first with the shoulders, right? So let's begin here. We're just going to drop those shoulders down and just sinking in between the shoulder blades. Then we're going to push up. So the arms do not move. The arms stay turned in, kind of screwed in so that we've got our elbows pointing back towards the body here. If they're pointing out to the side, it's going to be a lot harder. So rotate those in so that you've got a nice, strong, firm positioning and you've got those lats fired. So from there, again, we're going to sink into the shoulders. We're going to push up. We'll sink and we'll push. Let's go just one more time here. And relaxing out from there. Now here, we're going to curl those toes under and we're going to lift the knees off the floor. So it's tiny, very, very tiny. We're going to drop one knee down and then we're going to drop the other knee down. So we're just rocking side to side, just one tap and then tap the other. Tap here and tap here. Tap and then hold the center. Just really strong, pulling up with the belly and then sink that back down. Let's go ahead one more time and we're going to sink back into here, into child. Long reach out. Relaxing back onto the floor. You can bring the forehead to the floor. Then let's take it off to the front of the mat. We're going to take one hand on top of that hand. And we're going to sink back into the opposite hip. And then we're going to rock. We're going to look under one shoulder. And then we're going to look under the other. So it should stay under the armpit, right? Looking underneath. Then looking underneath the other one. And then just sinking back and relaxing. Let's come back and just walk that to the other side. Take one hand on top of the other. And again, sinking back into the head. And then we begin to rock. Looking under the armpit. Let's look under the other one. And one more time each way. And back into the center, just sink back and hold for just a second. And then coming into the middle from here. Now from here, we're gonna go ahead and we will rock back, and I'm gonna do a set of bridges with us. And then we'll start making some adjustments here. So coming into the center of the mat. From here, we're gonna roll back and down nice and easy. Let's bring those heels back in, hands onto the floor from here, or you can grab your ankles, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna squeeze these back up into a nice bridge. So ideally, we want a straight line from the knee to the shoulder. The weight is on our shoulders, not up on the neck. We're gonna sink that down, and again, we'll drive that back up. Nice, easy squeeze. Lifting through the middle. And squeeze that butt up there. So when we get to the top, we've got a nice firm tushy, right? One more time here, but we don't need to hyperextend the back. Now from here, we're gonna bring the feet in just a little bit closer so that the thighs are actually touching on here. As we come up, we're gonna bring the knees to the side. So we push out, bring it back to center here, and pushing out, and coming back into the center. Loosely. We're gonna go one more time. The position from here. And then our last part, we're gonna take the feet just a little bit wider. We're gonna keep the knees together on this one. We're gonna squeeze and come up. The feet are slightly wider, or you can bring the feet together and keep the thighs together too. It doesn't really matter. Either way is good. We have 3 more of these. And 2. And our last one coming up. Relaxing from there. And then from here, we're just gonna drop these knees side to side. So opening up that back, gently from here. We have just 2 more. And our last one. Now coming back into the middle from here, let's go ahead and bring those arms up overhead. We're going to bring those arms to the center. Bring those back overhead. So just again, right up over the shoulders as we come into center here. Now you can keep those knees up, or you can go ahead and extend the legs out. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull up, sitting tall. We're going to roll back down. Nice and easy. We take those arms out, bring those up, pull toward the sky. Roll that back and down. We're just going to do a few more here. We have 3 to go. You can also extend those legs out, coming up, come out over the top, coming back to center, and roll down. Now, if you don't come all the way up, that's okay. It doesn't matter. You'll eventually get there, right? So if you don't come all the way up, coming from here, bring those arms overhead, reach those up, come up as high as you can, and then bring that back and down. You'll get to the same spot, right? You're still getting that crunch and that squeeze in the tummy, which is what we're really looking for here. Now we're going to relax and come back. We're going to go ahead and bring ourselves back up into a seated position. Now, if you are not comfortable doing planks and extended tabletops and things like that, this is probably a good time for you to kind of relax, and you can watch through the rest of it, or you can participate. It depends on what you're kind of looking for here. In this particular part, we're going to move in and out of planks, and we're going to work some tabletop positions and through the down dog and the up dog. So the very first thing that we're going to start with is just a super simple flow. So we will begin in the center from here. Again, in our tabletop position, right? So we're going to go ahead and drop those shoulders down. We're going to lift back up, pushing back off of there. We're going to pull one leg back out here, extending long, brace those abs and pull them in and up. We're going to come back into our plank position from here. Now we're going to work a spinal balance through here. Or not a spinal balance, a little spinal work here. So kind of like your cat and cow. So in this position, let's go ahead and take this back from our down dog. We're going to extend back, and we're just going to alternate blocking those feet a little bit. Get a nice long stretch through your calves. Let's come up onto those toes. Rock those heels back down. Up on the toes. and rock those heels down. Now from here, we're gonna press that chest down toward the floor. We're gonna bring the heels to the floor if we can, or close to. And we're just gonna rock those hips forward and back, side to side. So it's to the back of the mat, in front of the mat here. Side to side for us, right? Then from here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull with the belly. So right through your navel, you're gonna pull in and up and really round out. We're gonna come onto those toes and we're gonna lift, and we're gonna go right through that spine as we begin to come up and round out through the shoulder blades. And then we're gonna bring that into the plank position. Get a nice, strong, long length from here. We're gonna hold this for just 1 second, nice and strong and long. And then we're gonna start from the center, drop the head down, pull up between the shoulder blades, pull that belly in and up. Bring yourself back up onto those toes. Really pull up as we sink back. And we're gonna shift that back onto the heels. Again, you can take a nice breath here. You can shift sideways a little bit if you like. Just a gentle rest. And again, draw with the belly, pull in and up, coming onto those toes. And just work your way all the way up through that spine till you come into that plank, and then we lengthen out, looking forward just a little bit. We're going to draw that back in by dropping the head down, pulling up through the shoulder blades, drawing up through the belly, onto our toes, and let's set that down. Let's do just one more of those. Again, take a long breath here and relax. And when you're ready, go ahead and pull up, lifting up off those toes, roll through the spine, and settle into that plank. Looking forward, long and strong. And then we're going to draw again, coming up through the shoulder blades, pulling back up, rounding through the back, and sinking down into the down dog. We're going to take let's take the back leg. Extend the back leg up. We're going to pull that across. We're going to bring that forward, across towards the opposite butt cheek. So again, pushing into those hands, extending along there so we can open up that lat as well. And then we're going to bring that leg forward, and we're just going to come through here into the center, working into a pigeon. So from here, we've got the leg, and if you've got problems with your knees, I would keep that heel close to your groin area. If you're okay with it and you don't have any problems, you can bring that out and make it more of a parallel across the front. I don't have that flexibility in my hips, so I can't show you. So from here, we're just going to lift the heart toward the ceiling. We're going to exhale here. We're just going to walk out, relax down over that leg. You can bring the forehead all the way to the floor if you like. You can extend the arms out long. And we'll take a gentle inhale coming up from here. If you choose, we're going to lift the heart again. We can reach back behind us, draw that back leg in, and get a really nice stretch on that quad. Now again, you can take that out, you can bring that in and across, just kind of rotating a little bit so you get more of a stretch through there. Just kind of whatever feels better for you. I clearly am extremely tight through the hips, so this is more difficult for me. We're going to let that go from here. Bring the hands down. We're going to take this and we are just going to roll onto the back hip. So the legs in this position are going to be just in a scissor position. So we're going to turn sideways from here and just do some push-ups. Rotating up here. Not a lot. We're only going to do 6, so we won't do very many. Your hands are nice and wide from here. Pressing evenly through the hands. And let's go one more time there. And from here, we're going to go ahead and just lift that knee up and bring that back and down. So squeezing up from here, letting that come down, and lift. Go one more time here. And then we're going to lift that heel up, squeezing from there, and relaxing down, sinking up, and back and down. My music caved out on me here. Means I must be longer than I thought I was going. And then the last part of that, we're just going to lift this leg all the way back up and bring this down. Squeezing up from here and bringing that back and down. And one more time from there. and we'll relax. So again, from here, we're going to take the hand behind us. We're just going to post that and we're going to lift through the heart. We're going to bring this hand back up and we're going to drive those hips back up as we reach forward and arch back just nice and long and behind us from there. If your hips don't come off the floor, that's okay. It doesn't matter, right? We're going to sink down, coming to the side. So this is just a version, a very modified version with our mermaid too, right? Coming down through here, and it's a nice hip opener. Coming up from here and just hold. Reach as far back as we possibly can. And then we're going to let this come back and down. Now we are going to move into a version of the mermaid. It's a little bit more of a modified movement as well. But we're going to take the palm onto the floor. We're going to screw that hand into the floor so that we've got nice, strong positioning from here. So let's kind of push off there, right? So we want to make sure that we're strong through that shoulder here and that we're not sinking down into it. If you're sinking down into that, that's going to make you, number one, really heavy, which makes it hard to move through it. And number two, it might cause you some problems in your shoulder. So again, kind of screwing that hand into the floor so that you can set that elbow properly as you move into this. We're going to extend this leg out to the front. As we come into the plank, as we move back, we'll take this leg back in and we're going to extend this leg to the front. So you've got a split version here. We're going to come down and we're going to bring this back up. Now, if you prefer, you can stack the hips and come back up and over, down and up and over. Now this time we're going to take it down. We're going to reach this all the way up. We're going to curl up and reach under. We'll come back to center here, sinking down, reaching up really long over the top, coming back to center, pulling through. Let's do just one more time here. Losing my balance because my feet aren't stacked, right? Coming down from here, reaching up and over, coming back to center and through. Now, on this part, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to bring this into center and we're going to bring this back into our down dog. Very nice and easy. And we're going to shift back into just the plank. We're going to back that up. And back into our plank from here. Now, let's drop those knees back down. We're going to turn around and come to the other side, just because it's a video and I can't get around on the other side of the room. So as we come from here, we will start again into that down dog position. And we're going to move the plank just to do exactly what we just did a moment ago, without the prep through the spine. So as we come through the center, again, screw those hands in. Go ahead and bring ourselves back up onto the knees. Then straighten the legs out, push the heels down. Again, coming into that down dog, we're going to shift those hips side to side. And this time we're going to actually move through a flow. So we're going to come into the plank. We're going to lower ourselves down very nice and slowly. You can either go all the way to the ground or you can hover over. We're going to come forward and through. Coming up onto the toes, lifting the heart, pushing up and away with those hands, squeezing those glutes nice and strong. We're going to curl those toes under and bring ourselves back into the down dog. So we're just going to do 2 more of those. We're going to go ahead and come into that plank. We're going to lower down, come forward and through, squeeze nice and strong, coming back and down into the down dog. And our last one here, come back to that plank. Bring that down. Let's come forward and through. And then draw that back. So as we come into the down dog from here, focus on just really lifting those hips up, pressing the chest toward the floor, opening up through the lats, and then see if we can drop those heels to the ground. We're going to take, again, the back leg, right? We're going to lift that leg up into the air. We're going to drop that heel over, across behind the opposite butt cheek, really opening up the hip as we get through there. Then we're going to bring that knee forward and through into the center. Sort of park it in the middle. So again, we're going to move into our pigeon from here. So keeping that ankle close to the groin area, or you can bring that out into more of a parallel zone. We're stacking the hips here. We're going to walk it forward, bring ourselves back out nice and easy, relax down and just get a good stretch through that hip. Then we're going to take an inhale and bring that back up. And from here, lifting the heart into the center. If you wish, you can take the hand into the center, bring this back and grab that back leg. Now again, depending upon your flexibility, some people have a lot more flexibility through their hips. You can actually relax, bring that front arm out. I don't have that flexibility. Coming into the center. I love the idea. Let that back and coming into the middle from here. Now we're just going to, again, roll back over onto that hip. So as we come from the side here, we're just going to start those push-ups, right? So a nice wide grip. We're going to come down and push up and down and push up. So ideally, if we can do all these other things, this should be a breeze, right? And let's go one more time from here. And then we're going to take this arm and we're going to post it back behind us. We're almost done. We're going to come back up from here and we're going to reach up. And we're going to come across from here. So as we get into the more extended version here, always, you can stay here, right? Or you can make up whatever you want it to be. Now our last one, we're really going to hold back up from here. Stretch and reach back long. Opening up that entire front of the body. And then let that come back and down from the center here. So the same thing on this side. As we come, this is my weak side, so I may have more of a problem. We're going to go ahead and we're going to push back up from here just to make sure that we've got a good, strong, solid base. And again, rolling that elbow back in toward us so that it's not back here wanting to bend so much. So we want it nice and strong into that shoulder socket. I'm going to give myself a little more room this time. So we'll go ahead and bring this back. We're going to extend the legs back out from here, letting this leg come into the front so you can get there either way. You can go ahead and bring this back up and then bring this leg back to the front. Drop this down. You can also do this on an elbow, right? You can also stack the legs. Coming down from here and up. Long reach from there. And we're going to add to this, right? So we're going to drop it down. Let's lift this back up. As we come to the top here, let's roll underneath. Back to the center. Drop this back down. Reaching up and over. Back to center from here and curling under. So some of this is more of an issue with balance. Some of it is strength. Some of it is really easy to do, right? I don't consider this to be a super easy exercise. Coming down and up, release, curling over here, and then let's drop this down to the center. We're going to bring this onto the back from here. So as we did a little bit earlier, we're going to do just a little bit of relaxation for the hips and the shoulders so that we can open this back up. To start off with here, again, we'll just push back in the staff position like we did when we were reaching the hips up, but with a little less stress. Then from here, we're going to bend these knees. We're going to relax and draw ourselves back down. And we're going to let the knees fall to one side. We can take that top hand and put them right over the knees. This arm is just going to come back and then to the front. Just opening the book, right? Open and close, open and close. And then let's just take a moment and just relax. Let that arm fall back. And don't worry if the shoulder doesn't touch the ground. Just let gravity work for you. Focus on your breathing. Inhale and exhale nice and steady and strong. And then bringing that back to the center. So you can just take the knees back to the other side, or you can come back, come across with me. Bring those knees to a 90 degree from here. Take this arm and you can relax that over to the knees. So you can just kind of give them a little bit of a brace, right? It doesn't take a whole lot, just a little bit of touch there. We'll relax this back as far as we can, opening and closing the book here. And then let's just hold this one. Relax, open up. And again, just like gravity, do the work for you to bring that shoulder down toward the floor, really opening up through that chest area. If you're tight through the hips and your low back, this is an excellent exercise for that as well. And then we're just going to bring the knees back to the center. We're going to come into that. Obviously, we're laying down. We're going to sit up here, coming into just a nice, easy position. Let's give ourselves just a gentle hug. We can reach underneath the knees. We can reach in front. Letting that low back relax again. And then our goal is to stand up any way that we can without having to use the hands. So ideally, if we can come across the top, bringing that back and up and standing back up, that's a win, right? So let's take a beautiful big breath up here. All the way up, grasp onto one wrist, stretch up. We're going to come off to the side just in case I missed something. Let's come back into center and let's come back off to the other side. Big breath from here. Let's exhale down. All the way back up. Back into prayer. And thank you so very much for joining me today. I appreciate that. I hope it's well worth your while. Have a wonderful day. All right.